You spent your youth in the library fortress of Candlekeep, under the kind tutelage of your foster father Gorion. Imoen shared this home, a kindred spirit. Her background was as mysterious as your own. Gorion's murder brought answers to your questions when his killer Saravak was revealed to be your brother. You and Saravak were a product of the time of troubles, a chaotic period when gods were made flesh and forced to walk the earth. One such deity foresaw his own death and walked the land before the cataclysm. He left a score of mortal offspring, intended to be the fuel for his rebirth. The god was Baal, Lord of Murder, and you are one of his children. Saravak sought a war of sacrifice to prove his worth, believing he could become the new Lord of Murder. You killed your brother, sending his taint back to Baal. You were the hero of Baldur's Gate, but some suspected you shared the same lineage as Saravak. You departed soon after, under circumstances much darker than anyone would have believed. They came as you rested, figures cloaked in mist that clouded your thoughts, blurring the lines between consciousness and dreaming. There was no malice or hatred, no mention of an old score, only quick capture and the promise of grim deeds to come.
Well, that was grim. Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but I thought about it for a long time and finally decided that I wanted to get back into doing LPs. And I think I just bit off more than I could chew the first time. And now you would argue this is actually even more. You know, with nearly a couple hundred hours of gameplay, nothing to sniff at. But still, this is something I've actually completed before, like, without having to break the game or hack anything or, you know, save scum too much. So I feel a little bit more confident about this. It's something I have a more focused interest in. The first game's fun, but it's kind of brutal and not in a good way. Here you at least have the pieces and the power to deal with what gets thrown at you. So, let's get started. And I'm going to do a similar theme to what I did the first time around, where I generated my own party. Actually, it's kind of a shame because there are some very good characters in this one. But the downside being, again, that they tend to have either very iffy stats or worse, their classes are pretty terrible. Their dialogue is fantastic, though, and this is where BioWare, in my opinion, really took off. This is where they really hit their stride and built the formulas that would see them a lot of success in the future. So, and this is going to be a little twist. We're going to do an evil party. Yes, I know. My Name Is Not Lily kind of did the same thing with his evil character, but it's a little different in the respect that everyone's going to be evil or otherwise aligned with our protagonist here. Or I guess you could call him an antagonist. I like the idea of this being a darker sort of Forgotten Realms anyways. So our main character is a fighter mage. We're going to have 2 of those. And as you can see, much favors the axe. I bolstered some of the stats because otherwise you sit there forever rolling and rolling and rolling. But it's nothing too ridiculous. Just what he needs: some exceptional strength and some intelligence. Nothing too out there you couldn't get with a good spread and point distribution. Really, I'd feel worse if it wasn't for that as a computer game, and the game is already pretty much stacked against you from the start. So, really, it's just... we're going to die anyways. It's just going to mitigate the number of times we die. And I have actually imported the Icewind Dale sounds. I don't remember if I did that last time. I imagine I did, or did something similar. I think I did. I haven't rewatched them in a little while.
Here I come, and the hells come with me.
Yeah. Kind of a grim guy. This is actually based off of a persona I've roleplayed for a long time. Not completely accurate, but interesting enough. And I've got them all prepped, ready to go, so we don't have to sit here watching me gen characters, which can be interesting, don't get me wrong. But it's not really what we're here for. And doing a variation on the Drow Ranger I had the last time.
Sarklin, attack now!
Now with an actual Drow voice set, I believe. Because I think last time she didn't really have any way to actually... I think I had a different voice set for her that... it's not very Drow-like. And that one's taken from Icewind Dale too, which has excellent, excellent voice acting. Actually, I think almost all of these are going to be from Icewind Dale. And this is my friend Adam's character, Eltergrim, who's also a very long-lived character, and although not evil, you can see he's a little bit more morally questionable in his how he executes things. What was the voice I was going to do for this gentleman? No, not quite. I think it was. Yes, that haughty, erudite voice suits him perfectly. And as you can see, his stats are still pretty good. Actually, somewhat better than mine. So, but he's a little bit more gribbly, a little bit more likely to explode. She's a bit more balanced across the board, and will not super strong, but she can take a few hits. That character is well known in pen and paper for surviving some pretty ridiculous crap that really should not have. And now we're getting into the characters I just kind of made up. These aren't particularly based on anyone, just thought they'd be interesting. This one's a female assassin. Not as useful as a straight thief, but, you know, it's more flavorful.
Let's spill some blood.
Especially if we're going to be doing a evil party, and we are going to be very evil. No, we're not going to run around butchering people, but we're certainly going to, we'll do some good and some bad, but it's all with the end goal of, us gaining more power. And here Thoric makes a return, although in this case he's a fighter cleric, so he's a little bit more robust and useful to the group overall. Not just cleaving evil, or party members' heads.
Oh, when all else fails, put the dwarf up front.
I missed you, Thoric. And finally, just throwing a fighter in that's very loosely based off of another character I've run in more futuristic games. But I figure she can be a bitch too, so she'll suit pretty well for this setting.
You would do well to fear a woman's wrath.
Oh yeah, she got the. I went out of the. I sat there forever rolling, and then finally got fed up and adjusted. Just gave her 1800 strength. And she'll do the great weapons for us, because it's, you know, to have a big, tough woman beating the hells out of things. And I'm going to start doing these in sets. It's something I saw that Frank-O-Matic and Halloween both do, and I have to agree, even with the longer YouTube times, you can get more done with sets, so this will probably run over a little. I'll probably do 2, maybe 3 15-minute videos in a set. Makes the whole thing more manageable. And let's get started. We've been captured. That's probably bad. The good news is he was foolish enough to lock us all up with our own allies. Ow.
Ah, the child of Baal has awoken. It is time for more experiments. The pain will only be passing. You should survive the process. Interesting. You have much untapped power. Do you even realize your potential?
Do you realize what a tremendous prick you are?
Intruders have entered the complex, Master.
They act sooner than we had anticipated. No matter, they will only prove a slight delay.
Yeah, already, right off the bat, this is much more interesting than Baldur's Gate, in my opinion, because you're just kind of thrown into this mystery with no idea what the hell is going on, who this guy is, and what he's up to, and what his interest in your divinity is. And that is a disintegration globe. That had to hurt. Interestingly, he didn't leave giblets. And here's Imoen, the first person we'll be ignoring. If you really want to read the dialogue, you can pause, but really, I'm just gonna tell her to fuck off. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. He tells us about other people. Again, which are not bad characters. None of these are bad characters. But, you know, we're selfish dicks.
Well, that's gratitude for you.
Beat it.
You aren't going to abandon me here, are you? We have to stay together.
Alright.
I feel it.
Yeah, you feel something. I like the notion that these two idiots actually came to rescue me. They escaped from their prison and ran through the portal. Like, oh, boss, you're here. Yeah, we came to rescue you, totally. Totally why we're here.
Here, agreed.
We were totally not thinking of